All right, the news cycle has been a little bit heavy today, so we're brightening things up with our next guest. This spring, hundreds of writers from all across the world submitted short essays for the Irma Bombeck writing competition. And in the end, it was Charla Schafer of Muscatine, Iowa, who took home first place in the global humor category. She wrote a beautiful short essay called Funeral Notes. And we're so honored to have Charla join us right here today on The Current. Charla, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Well, let's start with Funeral Notes. What is this essay about?
So I have been talking a little nonsense over the last few years with my family of what I want my funeral to look like, and I want it to be a hoot. And I have three boys that are in their 20s and a husband who's an accountant, and I didn't feel like they were paying enough attention. So I outlined my wishes to make sure that they had very little influence on what my funeral looked like as it came together.
I sent this essay out to a bunch of people in our newsroom this morning, and I had messages all day long of how much they just loved it. And one of the main reasons is how relatable it is. When you write these kinds of essays, who do you picture as your audience? I mean, how do you keep that relatability?
So most of the things that I write that are driven with humor are really related to my family and just incidents that happen and just the hilarity of life. So when I'm writing them, I'm typically just picturing them that I'm jotting down my notes for.
I love it. Well, Charlotte, where did your love of writing stem from?
I love to read, and I have, from an early time I've enjoyed writing. I find it's a great creative outlet, and I get an opportunity to do it a lot at work, not necessarily from a humor perspective, but it's just a great way to communicate, and I think pass on a feeling to someone else, the feeling that you have about something. So it's just something I've been able to do from time to time and enjoy from when I was young.
And was this your first time entering this writing competition?
I actually had entered it once a few years ago. I'd sent in, they have a human interest and then they have a humor, and I'd sent in a human interest article a few years ago. And honestly, this one I just sent in the morning it was due at kind of the last minute, and I had to pull some words out of this one to meet the word count I had because I'd already written it for my family. So I was pretty shocked when I got a call saying that I had been considered to be chosen for the award.
It just lends to the authenticity and the relatability, I think, that you wrote this not intending to submit it anywhere. But where can people find some more of your work? Do you have it published anywhere?
The funeral notes is published through the Irma Bombeck Writing Conference. There's sites that have it on that, but otherwise, a lot of my writing has been published has been more related to my line of work and the work I do. So. As I start to evaluate, it gives me a little bit of courage that maybe some of the other things I've written along the way I need to bring forward.
And of course, Charlotte's being very humble right now. She has spent years doing incredible work serving people experiencing homelessness in and around the Muscatine area. But aside from that, I wanted to ask what advice you have for writers that might be watching this of any age.
Well, I got to tell you, the chance that when I'm competing against others that do this on a more often basis, the chance that I would win is very unusual. So I say if you've got stuff, believe in yourself and put it forward. Irma Bombeck often said that it takes a lot of courage to show your dreams to somebody else, but she led that, and she led that with understanding and compassion and humor. And I think we really should all take the chance and see where it leads, because you may find that it leads a whole different path than what you thought you were going to be able to pursue.
Beautifully said. Not that I was expecting anything else. But before you go, they say that the best writers are also prolific readers. Do you have any books, maybe this summer, that you just couldn't get enough of that you would recommend to our viewers?
Well, I honestly, I don't read fiction because I can't put it down and I never get any sleep. So I only read nonfiction, but I've read a couple of really great nonfiction books recently. One was called Brand New Work, and another is called Loonshots. It's just looking at things a little bit differently on how we approach and thinking a little bigger in the work that we do every single day. And I think they both could provide, they gave me some momentum and some different perspective. Hopefully they can do that for others.
Amazing. Charla, thank you so much for joining us here today. You're a very busy woman, and we really appreciate your time.
Well, I really appreciate again the opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you so much for all that you do at the station and what you do for our community. So you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thanks, Charla. Well, hey, you guys at home, we have a link to her award-winning short humor essay up on our website. I'm telling you guys, it is very funny. All you have to do is go to the As Seen on TV tab at WQAD.com.